Did you grow up in the UK?
Yeah, I grew up in a small town called Ferryhill, England. It's right near Durham. And then I moved to Warrington when I was like 8, and that's right near Manchester.
And how was cinema a part of the culture there? Or maybe it wasn't, or?
Not at all for me. I mean, I feel like most of the stuff for film is in like is in London and Manchester. But I grew up and I was interested in doing acting because I loved watching movies.
Well, I mean, for me, I think Duran Duran were some of them from Manchester, and I know I'm really dating myself, but I wanted to be from the UK, and I had shirts with the flag, and I wanted to be. I wasn't, you know. Were you fascinated with the US? The way maybe other people?
I didn't think about it too much when I was younger, but as I got older, I realized that like the US like dominates the film industry, and I felt like there was just more opportunities there, but like there was no way of me really knowing that other than just thinking, because there was more movies made there. But I never really gave London a try because I moved here when I was 18, so I spent my whole adult life in the US, so I actually know here better than the UK.
Were the movies that you were interested in ones that represented the UK, or they were all where it was showing life in America?
So I'm really into horror movies, so it wasn't like a specific, like I liked films like The Mummy, and so none of them were like specifically to the US, but they were all like US actors and filmmakers. But I didn't really have a preference. I like some UK stuff too.
What was the first horror movie that you saw?
I think it was The Mummy. The Mummy was the first horror movie. And then from there, I really loved The Deep Blue Sea, which is the shark one. I don't know if you've seen it. It's really cool. And then I started watching like The Nightmare on Elm Street and the bigger franchise ones, but also like Predator and Alien and all them.
And so, did anyone try to talk you out of coming to the U.S.? Like, oh, are you sure you really want to do this, or it was always encouraged? Okay.
Yeah, my mum was an au pair in the U.S. when she was young, so she's a big fan of being like, just do it, you know, don't let anything hold you back. Like, don't even think about it too much. Just, you know, like, do it while you're young. So I kind of I finished college, which is the high school for you guys, and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna do it, and didn't think about it too much, and then just went, and and then I stayed.
And was the goal to get into acting?
It was. I always wanted to be an actor, but you're always told, like, you know, that's a hobby, like, good luck with doing it professionally, but I would always try, you know, to pursue it. And I came here as a nanny, and I met my husband here, who was a filmmaker, and I had only really done acting. I studied film studies in college, but it was more just like analyzing film and not so much like actually making films, along with performing arts. And when I met my husband, he was doing like actual films, and I was like, this is so cool. Like, I can learn how they've been made and stuff and how to do them. And I started acting in his short films, and then I got really passionate about like making them because he's a huge, he likes drama films, and I was very into horror, and he likes horror, but that's not like a genre that I want to pursue. And I was like, oh, but I really want to pursue it. And I felt like at first when you're just starting out and you have very limited knowledge, and I'd never been to film school or anything, I wanted to do that. So I started doing that on my own. With a team of people and a lot of advice from Philip.
Do you think that maybe you wouldn't have had the willingness to try if you hadn't been so encouraging?
Absolutely not. I think Philip was the person who really pushed me. It was always kind of like, when you talk to people about pursuing something very creative and like hard and competitive to go into, they're always like, well, keep, you know, all your expectations like super low. It probably won't happen. Get a normal job and do it on the side. And that's what a lot of my family were telling me to do, like, not because they wanted to be discouraging, but they just didn't want me to like live in La La Land. They're like, you know, yeah, but that's like a hobby. And, you know, my grandma actually paid for me to go to drama school when I was 14 if my grades stayed high. So it was kind of like, yeah, I'll help you with your hobby, but as long as you you do well in school. And it was only when I met Philip, who was very encouraging. He was like, yeah, but he was in La La Land, but in like a good way. He was like, you need to pursue your dreams because otherwise you won't be happy doing something you don't want to do. At least try, you know.